Myrtha. Ah,
There I am.
there you are. I keep like clicking the wrong things and my computer keeps crashing. It's been awesome today.
I believe it has. How are you, Haley?
I'm doing well. How are you doing,
I
Myrtha?
am doing well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
I was
you.
listening
So,
to a little bit about Joe and yourself. It's awesome when you have great feedback like that, especially when you're referring.
yeah,
It
absolutely.
makes
And
a
he said
difference.
I tricked him into doing live. Everybody keeps saying I tricked them. And I'm like, I maybe didn't tell you the full extent of what it was going to do for you, but I did tell you it
Mhm.
was going to be good for you.
Exactly, exactly.
That's awesome. Well, I am going to give you the stage and let you present your topic, my amazing, fierce, awesome friend. Welcome, Myrtha.
Well, thank you, Haley. Thank you so very much. All right, well, I guess we are going to get started. My name is Myrtha Dubois. I am a personal growth and development strategist, 4 times international best-selling author, and an author coach. I serve in the capacity of an entrepreneur offering entrepreneurship programs. I am the visionary of creating purposeful resilience, CPR, if you like that. I am also the CEO of Myrtha Dubois Coaching and Consulting. My desire is to use various platforms to support women all over the world. My passion and work touches on reaffirming positions, rebuilding confidence, and redeeming self-worth, promoting women to become absolutely undeniable as they actively participate in the journey towards their best lifestyle. We simply need to get out of our settled space, right? Sometimes we settle and we get comfy, and it's just not necessarily what's best for us or why we are here. What's the assignment that we're here on this earth to complete? My vision is to break spiritual, financial, and mental chains. Sometimes we call it the curse, but it's really bad habits that we just have to get rid of. And so today we're going to touch on my topic is undeniable you 7 steps to soar, where we are going to touch on reaffirming your posture, your position, rebuilding your confidence, and redeeming your self-worth. Okay, so welcome and congratulations to all of you who are in attendance, hearing me speak today. Thank you so very much for being here. And you are here, not by accident. You are here because you are prepared. You are prepared to see what's next in your life. Something new, something different perhaps, but for sure something very, very powerful. Now, as I prepared for our time, our moment together today, I did a little research and found that there are 7.8 billion people in this world, just in case you didn't know. 49.6% of that are women. Now, stay with me because in a little bit, you're going to understand why these numbers are going to be relevant. Okay? Now, women are 20 times more likely to suffer with stress than men. 20 times. Now, go back, right? We're at 49.6% of this world population are women. 20% of that's a big chunk, right? That's a big chunk of numbers. And over the last 5 years, that stress level for us women have increased. That is why the numbers are relevant. Note to self, that's right, you are not alone. And the signs and symptoms of stress circles around affairs of money, emotional well-being, and our physical state of mind. What does that translate to? Well, that translates to we don't have the right steps in place to keep us moving towards our best living. We just don't have it. And because we don't have it, we keep wanting to add on more, thinking the more that we have on us, the better or the most that we will accomplish. And that's not the deal at all. The more that we have on us, the more pressure, the more times that we need to take a step back, the more times that we need to say, wait a minute, I need a break, or your body just crashes and says, I'm taking a break. Therefore, our success rate overall is affected in everything that we do. things that we take on, things that we just let die on a sideline. So we have to be extra careful, very careful, that we do not get frozen in our situations. And that's where a lot of us seem to be. We get frozen because it's like, what do I do? I have all this stuff that I got to get done. What do I do with all this stuff? Right? And sometimes that superhuman, superhero, superwoman does not really work for us. As a matter of fact, sometimes just the mere thought of being a superhero might hurt us, cause us more harm than good, because we just don't know when to say no or when to say enough. Okay? So I did a little bit more digging, and I found that we Americans spend over $700 million per year in self-help and self-improvement books. Ha! That, my friend, is a lot of money, considering that we are still experiencing this personal development issues, such as feeling the weight of stress and overwhelm, with just being brought down, right? That weight is too much, being uncertain most of the time and stuck in place because it's just, where do I go? Where do I turn? We start to live with doubt and fear and confusion. And those same issues, sisterpreneur, those same issues lead to other concerns, such as depression or anxiety or worse. Here's a hint. The key to better living is to take action and to stay in action. We need support in order to do that. And also, we need a system in order to stay in action. And we desperately need to have clear vision, because we need to know which direction are we heading into. Because we don't want to just end up anywhere, right? We have to know where we're going so that we know when we get there. Otherwise, we'll end up just nowhere. Now, know this, and I'm not laughing because of your situation. I'm just laughing because it's just the thought of it, though, right? The perception of it. We start to move and we're thinking that's okay. And don't get me wrong, it is okay to take action, but we have to take the right type of action. Fair enough? Okay. Listen, life by itself is not the true gift. The true gift is how we live the life that we have been given. So if we spend the majority of that time just boggled down, overwhelmed, frustrated, then we are not living our best life, and we are not using the gift as it was intended. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever wondered what your life would be like if you had less stress despite the chaos in the world? And it's going to happen because life does not discriminate. Life just keeps coming at us, and sometimes harder than other times. Have you ever wondered what your life would be like after, everything in your life just kind of settles down? Do you have that vision, that crystal ball, if you will? Have you ever wondered how much better your life can be if you did have a blueprint for success overall? Because we're not just looking at one area of your life, we're looking at all areas of your life. Your family life, your relationship life, your finances, your fitness, right? Mentally and physically, your mindset, your spiritual area of your life. So here's what I'm here to tell you. I did get a personal blueprint, and my personal blueprint included the 7 steps I'm about to share with you now. Would you mind if I share the 7 steps that brought me to a sense of harmony, not balance, because we can't really do 50-50. Right? We got too much going on. We can't look at 50-50. It has to be in or out. And if we're doing it, we're doing it. So we don't need balance. We need harmony. We need peace. Would you like if I share the steps that you too can take to become resilient, like a warrior, in the face of your biggest challenges? Would you mind if I share how you can have the most powerful conversations to break through to what's holding you back. And I say conversation and not communication because conversation is a two-way street. And we need to understand that what we intend to say sometimes doesn't always come out that way. So we need feedback from the other person that we are having this conversation with. Fair enough? Thank you for saying, share, Myrtha, share. Please share. So I'm going to share with you, but in a moment, I want you to discover how you can go from confusion to clarity. That moment, right? In a moment, you're about to discover how you can go from uncertainty to definiteness of purpose. In a moment, you're about to discover how to literally shift your situation to live a better life. And by the end of our time together today, by the end of our moment, you will be empowered to promote self-love. You will know the steps that you need to take to soar, to be undeniable you. And yes, I will invite you to live on purpose and with purpose. But we do have a problem, don't we, ladies? Sisterpreneur, my friend. We have a problem, queens, my precious gems. And that problem is that most of us, we give so much of ourselves to other people that we sometimes don't have anything left for ourselves. We run on empty. We go through life in the shadow of someone else, losing our own identity. For example, ever heard someone introduce you as Mrs. So-and-so or little Jenny's mom, right? And so you start to be introduced in that manner. People start to think that's all there is to you. Mrs. John. What's your first name? Who are you? What do you do? Right? Little Jenny's mom. Well, what else do you have that you can offer? And the other problem is we juggle so much that we get lost in the service of Mrs. John and little Jenny's mom. We get lost in that. You know, when we talk about stress, we have to understand that there's a domino effect, and it plays a domino effect on our life. When you nudge on everything, right? When you tap on that first domino, everything can go down if you are not mindful and if you are not strategic. But here's the solution. The solution that I speak of is simple. Now, I didn't say easy. I said simple. Simple because it can help you reaffirm who you are and your personal gifts. You know, understanding what they are, discovering them and developing them can also help you rebuild your identity, which will boost your confidence and definitely will help you from knowing where you stand, knowing how you're standing, your self-worth, your value will go up just like that. But it does take a little bit of work. That's why it's simple and not easy. Now, who am I? And why do I believe that I have the solution? Well, like you, I am a mom. I am a woman. I am a grandmother. And yes, indeed, I am that savvy, loving, sincere leader, passionately dedicated to educating, elevating, and empowering not just myself, but you as well. And because I have the experience of where you are right now, in this moment, in this chaos, and I got to the other side by the use of the personal 7 steps that I used for myself. Do you mind if I share a personal story with you, just so you know where I was? Thank you for saying yes. You see, I was married for 20 years, had 3 children, full-time job, projects, deadlines, after-school activities. You know how it goes. Does that sound similar to what you're going through right now? Because at one time I thought I could do it all. Yes, I lived that superwoman fantasy for a little bit. So I'm sure you can relate. You see, for me, keeping it all together meant that I had to keep it all in. And like so many, I wanted to keep up the appearance that, you know what, Myrtha can do it. She can do it all. Well, it was only a matter of time before stress manifested into panic attacks. And for those of you who don't understand what panic attacks does or what it is, let me share my experience. First of all, panic attacks come without any warning signs. There's no knock on the door. There's no like, oh, Myrtha, be prepared because in the next few minutes you're going to have a panic attack. It doesn't happen that way. You can be in the middle of a conversation. You can be driving down the road. You can be anywhere, laying down in your bed, and all of a sudden it hits you. For example, I remember being in the grocery store and the aisle literally kept going and going and going with no end in sight, almost like a cartoon. My heart started pounding. And I believe me when I tell you that anyone near me would feel that pounding because it was so hard and so fast. And that vibration would take anybody in around me. And I was sucking up air like I couldn't have enough air to breathe. I saw people's mouths moving. They were probably, now that I think about it, asking me, are you okay? But I couldn't make it out. I couldn't hear a sound. See, my senses in that moment, in that chaos, my senses were gone. I saw people's mouths moving. I saw that they were near me, but I wasn't sure what was going on. Of course, I was transported to the nearest hospital. But once I got home, it was like, okay, this has to stop. It cannot continue to keep going. So I went to work and developed these 7 steps. Not all at once, but because it is a process. What I learned in doing my work is that I was transparent. I had to be honest with myself. And I also learned that personal growth, that all that development stuff is work and a lot of work on self. What I learned is that when one area of my life is affected, then all the other areas of my life is affected. Meaning if I was not right in the house, right, with the husband and the children, then I carry this into my workplace, and vice versa. If something wasn't going right at work, I bring that home. Basically, everything affects our behavior, our attitudes, and it reduces our opportunities as well to make money, to earn money. You know what I mean? So in my personal blueprint that I learned, that I took the steps to developing and not just so developing, but working on, really, really working on. And it aligns with the step of being a child. Because one thing I know is that there will be numerous moments within our journey where we will need to hit that reset button. Yes, we're going to have to hit it. And we're going to have to start where we are to go again. See, step 1 is intentional breathing. Step 1 is about being aware. And the only way that you can be aware is when you step back and you inhale with intention and exhale with intention.
Keep going. You can wrap up.
Here we receive the clarity that we need. See, I have a mentor who talks about what's now and what's next. Breathing is part of what's now. Answers the question of where I am in the moment. Step 2 involves our senses, our smells, our hearing, our tasting, our feeling, and how it affects us personally. This is the adjustment stage. This is what gets you customized to your advancement. Step 3 is about eating, making sure that you supply your body with the right things so we can start to build that muscle properly. Step 4 is crawling, because you start to get a sense of familiarity. You can't jump from step 1 to step 10, in other words. Step 5 is when you're standing. You build that confidence stage, that confidence muscle, that decision-making moment. Step 6 is about you walking. And in this stage, you have your confidence, You have your harmony, you're in balance, and you're independent. You are in movement. And finally, step 7 is when you are running. I mean, the wind is on your side. There is nothing in front of you, and you can't go. You can go around, you can go over, you can go through, and you have cheerleaders saying, go, Myrtha, go, Myrtha, go, Haley, go, Haley. And ladies, those are the 7 steps. And that is all I have for today.
Thank you, Myrtha. That was awesome. The
Thank you,
reminders to take it in baby steps.
Taking baby steps, yes, for sure.
Absolutely. I love it. This has been such an inspirational event. Thank you for being a speaker today,
Thank you,
Myrtha, and for
It's
joining
always
us.
a pleasure.
And Susan and everybody who was speaking today. You know, I'm just blown away. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Haley. Thank you so much for sharing your audience with me.
Thank you, guys. Take care.